I kind of look at Ron Paul as like a smart guy he's got like a very extreme viewpoint on all these issues, and because of that, I think that's what's going to gather his popularity. I think that's what's gathered his popularity.
I kind of like how he just mixes things up. I don't know if I'd vote for him personally, but I really think he's a good presence in the political system because he's not afraid to kind of go against the grain and say what he really thinks.
I like the anti-war stance a lot.
Why do you like the anti-war stance?
Because the thought that our country is killing 850,000 people over the last 3 years, that we're paying for that literally, is kind of disgusting. I mean, that our country is literally paying to butcher that many people a year. That's kind of, it's out there. It's mind-blowing if you really think about it.
I feel that we shouldn't be someplace fighting a war where we have no business being. We should be here in the United States defending our own borders.
I first heard about Ron Paul. I was having a discussion among friends, and some people said that Ron Paul is awfully popular with the bloggers, which caught your attention because typically you don't hear about candidates who are most popular with a group of people described solely for their internet participation.
Do you know he wants to end the war, not just in Iraq, but he wants to bring all the troops home? How do you feel about that?
I think it's good to a point. It kind of depends on the extent you take it, but I do think that it's important to realize that we need to scale it down at some point.
I like the fact that he's very conservative on a lot of moral issues, but on the other end, I feel that sometimes he's a little too liberalistic as far as leaving it up to the people. I think some things should be left up to the people, and then there's other things that I feel that the government needs to have control over.
Tell me what you're doing today, trying to get people to register.
Yeah, I'm working for an organization called Acorn that's international, and we do like a lot of community reform issues, from like the immigration issue to housing issues, like getting better community housing for the people. And right now, the project we're working on, that a small faction of us are working on, is Project Vote. We're registering people to vote for the elections.
One thing about Ron Paul is he has very set ideas, and I respect him for that a lot.
Yeah. Do you believe in the Constitution?
I do, yes.
And he's the only one who wants to uphold it. Are you aware of that? He wants to restore it?
Restore it? I'm all down with that.
I think the Constitution's a pretty good thing, so I would totally be down with the Constitution being upheld.
Are you aware that the Constitution's been basically ripped to shreds since George Bush took office?
Yeah, I'm aware that they've done. I think Bush's policies have been relatively offensive in that respect. I think, and I think that the Patriot Act and all that stuff probably would do better if it was eliminated. But
So, do you agree with the Patriot Act?
No.
Why not?
I think it's bad to give the federal government that kind of power because I don't trust them. And not just the Bush administration, I just don't trust the government in general to have that level of power over civilians.
Now, are you aware that habeas corpus has now been removed?
Yes.
Pretty scary, huh?
Yes. Yeah, I do. I don't like that. It's too much power to the federal government. There's checks on it for a reason.
To me, I know a lot of people don't think it, but to me, morals are one of the most important things. And if I could change one thing about our country, I would change our stance on moral issues, the laws governing that, as far as abortion, homosexuality, everything like that. I would change that, because I think that if your morals are gone, what good is your country? So.
If you could change one thing about our country, what would you change?
This country? Current administration.
Yeah.
But that will change, fortunately.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
We'll see. We have people all around the world declaring martial law and trying to stay in presidency longer. And
yes. Well, hopefully it'll change.
Hopefully.
The unilateralism in our, at least in how we deal with the world, that's the only thing I'd change.
I'd say the prison system, actually. I think the prison system's our biggest flaw in this country right now. prison system and sort of the whole way people get to prison, you know, the poor of the country, how it's sort of not, how the government's sort of supposed to be doing something there, but its system isn't really efficient, and giving people help doesn't really literally work. You need to do it in a different way so that it actually supports the economics of the area, that sort of thing.
What do you think the worst thing is going on inside our country as far as foreign policy and our government?
Maybe sort of, not really any specific thing, but sort of the overall mindset of a lot of people in charge. Just their attitudes as to how they think that they can sort of force things to work, and a lot of the viewpoints they have. So it's almost like almost everything that happens I sort of disagree with on some level or another, but it's like, it's more of the underlying philosophy, I think, is what's worse.
Yeah, I feel people are paying too much in taxes right now as is. If the government would stay out of my pocket, I would really much appreciate it.
I'm seeing the banners, revolution banners around Tempe, like on fences and stuff, and then I went online, Googled him, found a bunch of stuff, read his shit, and I'm a believer.
Well, it wouldn't be so much what he talks about, but the way that he aggressively attacks subjects. For example, in a debate, you know, as debates go, it's good to be aggressive, but Ron Paul, you might find unusually so, in a good way, declaring faults not just of George Bush, but policy and typical strategies, not just the current administration, but the past.
Well, I'd seen like advertisements for him around for a couple of months, like everywhere. There's just various advertisements everywhere. I had really no idea who he was, and then I found out. I think I just eventually just looked him up on YouTube just because I was so curious who the hell he was, and then I don't know. I think he has some really great ideas about. I think if anyone, he would be a person who could actually change the way that we're running this country very well.
Are you aware that Ron Paul raised $4.3 million in one day?
I was aware that he had managed to raise a great deal of money very fast, but I didn't know the exact number.
Yeah, it wasn't corporate money.
I mean, what he says he's going to do, if he can actually accomplish it, I don't know, is get rid of a lot of the governmental excess spending and bullshit. Say somehow reduce or get rid of the IRS. Everyone's going to be taxed the same. No more birthright citizenship. I think that's kind of baloney. Everything he has to say, I think, should have been done a long time ago. And because politics is politics, no one's ever done it yet. So hopefully he does it.